And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Radio Across New York. In this scene, we continue straight from like the scene that we did where, well, William decided that it was the best way to solve an argument by stalking his met his packmates to the point where she knocked him out. Then continued to stalk her afterwards, and they fought and they kind of made up and then fought again and definitely made up. um there's a very interesting dynamic there on the training ground. And yes, at the same time, while these two packmates were having a bit of a fight, a row, a battle, whatever you want to call it, their third pack member was staying in the bushes as he had gotten orders from his, well, beta wormfoe elder, whatever you want to call Will, to follow Platahine to make sure that she didn't get herself into trouble. Obviously, he wasn't doing his job very well because the trouble was actually coming to her, right, Will?
I
Um,
mean, it's a loophole. Will never said that what I had to do if he was the trouble.
yeah, this is fair. So we start the scene after this very long introduction with Platine and Will walking back to the cabin. Probably neither of them is walking too fast, because both of them have had, have at least been knocked out once, and in Will's case twice. And yeah, it was a pretty tiresome event all in all, at least to the Metasphere. She can't really judge for her packmates, but so slowly they make their way to the cabin, and Plata will open the door, go inside, and she, as usual, walks towards the kitchen and puts a kettle on, making coffee, and yeah, just starts busying herself in the kitchen.
Yeah, Will comes in, the poor, innocent, peaceful child of Gaia that's been repeatedly beaten on by the aggressive, brutal Wendigo. Comes in and sits down and like probably grabs a sandwich out of the fridge that he no longer frenzies at. And yeah, we'll just he'll actually get on his phone and he'll check his text and see he'll actually text Raphael saying, "Hey bro, where are you?"
And and just as you send the text from behind the couch, you have ding ding from the cell phone. Oh hey.
Will looks behind the couch.
Oh yeah, he's standing just behind him.
Jeez, dude, don't fucking do that.
So, how's your jaw doing?
Slow head turn and look.
At that comment, Platine would also look around because, like, the cell phone going off and everything is like, yeah, but what?
And he shrugs. He goes, so should I be wary that sucker punching is a tradition of this pack, and I should get an insurance for my thieves?
Will has a look on his face while he's looking at him that basically just says, "Dude, shut up. Dude, shut up."
Platine has a kind of confused stare And as the kettle is boiling, she is completely ignoring that, as she is frowning and then looking at Raphael and Will, and then back at Raphael, and then kind of confused asks, "Were you there?"
I mean, I don't necessarily need to be there when two packmates are punching themselves. And he point to his forehead. Packling and stuff. If you want, I can roll manipulation subterfuge.
Yes, please do, because it's too hilarious not to have that.
One, two successes. Meh, not the best one.
Just start up the scene now, and then I'll roll my we need to see it. This has been a long time since I rolled perception, empathy. What is it? Perception.
It's okay, I'm a Shadow Lord. I'm not worth it.
I really have a very low dice pool on this.
I'm not worth your empathy. Nah,
Nope,
it's
nope,
okay.
she does not see it, so
Buy it.
she'll just kind of make the oh right movement with her head, and then turns back to the kettle and turns like the stove off and starts pouring it into a cup for tea, and looks around at the others. Do you want tea or coffee?
I would be curious for coffee.
Will?
No, I'm all right. Thanks.
As
Okay.
when Tilate was preparing the tea and coffee, Raphael just turns and zip zip his mouth.
Will nods a thank you.
Oh man, this is too hilarious. I love you guys. And yeah, she will pour makes tea for herself. Makes it of the fresh herbs, or well, the dried herbs actually, that she keeps in one of the drawers. And just has to wait a little longer for the coffee, as she takes out a coffee mug, specifically not a certain coffee mug that is still standing there, that is not being used.
Oh.
And yeah, she'll go over to the couch and hands Raphael the coffee, and then sits down in one of the like chairs, and kind of curls up in it. Actually, she's small enough to be able to curl up in the chair.
The multiple advantages of small size.
Yes.
He will taste the coffee and will raise a surprised eyebrow. Huh. Well, this is decent coffee.
What were you expecting?
I mean, the problem is that since I came here in the US, the thing that you guys there called coffee is just water.
Well, la-di-da.
Well, la-di-da, Mr. Brits. So, as he taps his mug, are there any things I should know about?
Yes. Me and Salate have argued and come to, let's just say we're friends now. But the pack does need an alpha. And as much as I think Talatahine is the best choice, it's not my choice. It involves the whole pack, and we all have to choose.
I agree. And as much as I think that Will would be a very suitable choice as an alpha, I do agree that it should be a pack decision.
So Will kind of leans into Raphael. So what we're saying is we're going to have a vote. We both know how we're going to vote. So it's kind of up to you.
So what you're saying is that I'm Solomon currently.
Sort of.
Solomon?
Don't chop any of us in half, though.
Platine starts to look very confused.
uh, it's it's a figure. It's a figure generally praised for wisdom of judgment.
Right. So,
eh, biblical figure.
oh, right. Yes.
Okay. So basically, unless there is a tremendous change of situation, pretty much I'm the one casting the vote.
Almost.
Yes.
You can vote for yourself if you like.
Please. I'm not crazy enough to do that.
Really? You struck me as being a little crazy.
Well, yeah, but I work best in the shadow and when I'm unnoticed. Being alpha with the two of you, considering you're higher in rank than me and everything, no, too much attention. Too much attention for my taste. But when I heard pretty a lot of things, um, I heard, I heard you going on about how you shouldn't. Well, I mean, actually, both of you are very adamant about why you shouldn't be the alpha. Uh, hmm. So, I think if I want to cast my vote, hmm, uh, William, I haven't heard any praise from yourself, so tell me why I should choose you to be the alpha. And I don't want to hear the latte is more suited. I don't want to hear um, about your failures or anything. I want to hear you talking about yourself in a positive way and how that would affect us if you're the alpha.
Will looks over at Talate.
She smiles. Well, she's kind of suppressing a smile, but she like has her teacup and is kind of looking down into it. But you can clearly see like a vague twist of her lips, kind of like curling up a little bit.
Will's eyes narrow slightly. Don't know what you're smiling at. You're going to have to do it in a minute.
Smile immediately disappears.
Now, now it's Raphael who smiles.
Well, I'm an Arun. Although I dislike it, that does mean something in the nation. I'm probably one of the better warriors on Sept. I'm currently the Wormfoe of the Sept, which I suppose shows that I have at least some capabilities in leadership. Being an Arun means that if anyone fucks with any of you, then I get to beat the shit out of them.
I mean, I would expect even if you are not the alpha, you would do that.
Yeah, but being the alpha would be nice because it means that I can't have you two being like, no, don't, it's fine, you're making a scene. Then I can just go do it. Not that that would stop me, but it would be easier. Will is withering slightly under Raphael's and you see him briefly glance towards the door as an escape route. I don't know what else you want me to say.
I don't know. You're the one who should know what to tell me.
Truth is, I don't think I would be a bad alpha. I just think Talatahim would be. I just think Talatahim would be better.
I think you made that pretty clear. So, okay, you're an Arun. You're the worm foe. I've seen you direct missions. Now, what do you think the pack is about? What is the purpose of this pack?
When we made the pack, we said it was because we wanted to concentrate on the Umbra. Our totem otter allows us to travel through the Umbra easier and travel to other realms. It gives us knowledge about what to expect on the other side. That's what I think the pack was made for. Well, it hasn't always served this purpose exactly. It has, more or less. The truth is, the pack's purpose is a home for us.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. God damn it!
Boom,
okay.
Auspe. You didn't know Will had Auspex 4, did you, bitch?
I mean, right?
Doesn't mean that you can't say the same thing. It's about the purpose of the pack.
Yeah, I know. It's just very funny.
And he nods. All right. I guess I have 2 more questions. Where would you push us if you were the alpha? What would you want the pack to do?
Grow. This is part of the reason we asked you to join. Grow. Become more varied. Have more Garu with different strengths in it, so that the pack will be stronger altogether.
He nods. So you recognize that the pack is more umbral based. And yeah, knowledge, based on knowledge and the accessibility towards the Umbra, but you emphasis on home and you want to strengthen the foundation of your home. I think that's a pretty sensible thing to do. Now, as he switched to his next victim.
Oh dear.
Why, hello there.
Her teacup looks so interesting right now.
So,
Will is behind
wow.
Raphael, giving Talate a kind of like smug look, knowing that he's going to hate what's about to happen.
Oh yes.
So, please tell me more about your qualities. as leader of this pack?
Um,
As he just, and you know, as he finished, he sips the coffee.
she she's giving it some serious thought. I am a theurge, which normally you would say wouldn't be very suited for a pack alpha, but when I decided to take over, it felt like a good choice. I have already obtained a lot of knowledge regarding the spirits in the Umbra, which suit our pack very well. And she kind of glances at Will at that point, and there is, despite the fact that she's truly hating this, there is a kind of half smirk on her face. I know how to keep Will out of most trouble.
Will nods in agreement. Back at you.
I'm in a scene, sweetheart.
There's a gremlin. A gremlin spirit has infiltrated this household.
Will says hello through the pack link to Jesse.
Through the pack link, you get a hello, sweetie.
Hello. What?
Yes. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Spirits comes and goes as they please.
Yeah, Tlati kind of gets that absent-minded look, as if there's something poking her.
Mm.
I think that is mainly it. I have not led any missions, but I am capable of organizing the theurges, at least in some fashion, as I've proven on our last, our last endeavors.
Mm-hmm. Somehow I don't know why, but I get the idea that pretty much what's happening is that Raphael is in like one of the seat with his little notebook, and that he makes you guys
Yeah.
like lay on the couch.
I mean, she's curled up in a
Yes.
chair, so pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, talk to me about your trouble. Talk to me about your father.
Fuck no, I don't know shit about
No,
my father.
do not ask Talati about her father.
Slotty takes rage.
It's okay. So, yeah, yes, he goes, mm-hmm. You know, giving the exact same mm-hmm as he gave to William. So, what is the purpose of the pact to you? And what does it mean to you?
The purpose of the pack is, when we formed the pack, we looked at the other packs and we looked at ourselves and what we felt were our best qualities. Both William and myself have a connection with a certain brood of spirits, and we honor and respect the spirits in the Umbra very much. I would not say more than other packs, but perhaps in a different form. So when we decided on our purpose, it is it was clear to us that we wanted to invest more of our time and effort in making sure that the Umbra stays healthy. And we wanted to focus our energies more on that purpose. This is why we also chose Otter as our... I'm just losing words here, guys. As our totem, thank you. As our totem, he is an umbral spirit who enjoys traveling through the Umbra, who finds new ways, and I think that is something that our pack also does. We find new ways, new solutions with our former alpha and William. Were both very creative when it came to finding solutions that weren't those that the nation had been finding for, well, generations. Try to shed new light on old subjects. And although I have not contributed as much to that as they did, I tend to have creative solutions when it comes to deals that we make with spirits, when it comes to, well, finding my way into the world, actually, on a personal level. So I would say that we are a pack that looks to renew things and focus mainly on the Umbra. For me, this pack, the pack has always been a place where I felt that I could belong. It was more than just a home or a family. It's the first place where I could truly be myself and could be accepted accepted as such. Of course, that did not mean that my packmates never called me out on my ways, but still they accepted me. That is something that that the pack means to me personally.
He nods. You've been thinking that a lot, haven't you?
I beg your pardon?
All this. What I mean is that it's not an improvised speech. It feels a pattern that you have thought through for a long time. This is simply
I
a statement. There's nothing beyond that. Just a reflection.
I think it is something that has been on my mind. I am very blessed with having this pack, and I would do anything for my pack members.
Will's looking out the window, trying to not let
I'm
eye
not
contact with
crying.
Amy.
You're crying. I have just sweat on my face.
I'm allergic to sadness.
And he thinks for a full minute. Where would you go from now? How do you see the future?
I I agree with Will. Our pack should grow, should become more strong. However, I would not want it to be too big. I would like to be in a pack where we could remain ourselves and be ourselves and be able to have these conversations without it becoming more of a meeting. As far as our pack goes, we have been a number pack, and I would like to continue with that. We have taken over the care for a spirit who is in our garden next door. And that is what I would like to do, like to continue doing, to keep the Umbra safe, to find out how the worm creatures have managed to get through our wards, to build up defenses in the Umbra, and from there on venture out. I would like for us to explore new ways, but also to explore other realms, find out more about the Umbra and what it means to us and how we interact with it, how we can work these things to our advantage in our sept. Often we only see what we already know of the Umbra. Garou and the sept, but Garou in general tend to stick to what they know. But the Umbra is vast. A lot of it is not fully grasped or explored even. How do we know if there are not other ways that we can help the Umbra, help the spirits, but also help ourselves and help the nation if we do not explore it?
And as Raphael nod and will say the following words, I will then hijack this scene even more. uh, he will say, hearing you both talk is very interesting, and I can definitely see why both of you belong to your tribes. Because yes, oh, see, what Williams talks is we need to grow and we need to expand, and what Tolate say is we're kind of fine on our own. I'm okay with expanding, but we're kind of fine on our own, which is exactly what the sort of Gaia and the Wendigo feels about. I just wanted this to be pointed out. And so now Raphael takes a I'm thinking pause, and what's happening in his mind is that he is taking into account everything that they've said, and he is basically working the Shadow Lord way, trying to go through the pros and the cons. Because on one hand, we have William, a capable Arun who have risen to the rank of Wormfoe, which in itself is an achievement. However, he suffers from self-doubt. Self-doubt on his own capacities as a leader, not necessarily to lead others, but to lead those who he cares about, which is a completely different problem. putting him into charge would reinforce his stature as Wormfoe, as people see that he is able to take charge and be also, well, able to take all the responsibilities of an Arun, fulfilling his role for the nation. And however, his focus seems to be more on growing for the pack rather than continuing into the direction that the pack was supposed to, as he feels that bustering the bases is currently what needs to happen. On the other hand, we have a Metis. I know, shocking. Nobody has seen it, this is coming. From the Wendigo tribe, which has proven from the few 2 months that he has been here to be quite clashing with certain people or with traditions. However, as pointed out, she has a better grasp on the role of the pack and its foundation, as she too feels that this is a home. But she, while she recognizes that she cannot advance, at least into more mortal matters, as she is a Metis and is unfamiliar with the terrain, she has shown initiative on her own, even going for someone who seems to be so traditionalist as to talk a lot about new ways, which might indicate that the Sept has changed her more than she would realize. Perhaps she knows it, but she doesn't want to admit it. And she wished to push forward to the Umbra. She doesn't disagree with growing, but she thinks that a rather closed intimacy is better, probably from her own feeling that this closed space allow her actually to not be just a Metis and be a little bit more than that. Maintaining her would come with potential clash with others, or with just non-traditional Garu, considering that she emphasizes on a more traditional way. However, she also says that she is aware that other ways exist. Currently, if William is not Alpha, he can still be war leader. But if Tlatehin is not Alpha, can she really channel Will to make him advance a little bit more onto the Umbral path? And then Raphael thinks about what he wants with all this and this long monologue. Raphael wants to know more. Raphael wants to explore a little bit more of the Umbra. And as much as he can appreciate the stability and power that could come with having both his Alpha being the Wormfoe, he feels that if that is the case, then William might be perhaps a little bit too focused on the Sept of the Green. And Raphael appreciates the Sept of the Green, but Raphael has his own needs and wants, and what he wants is more knowledge on the Kamazots, and interact in a way that will allow him to redeem his bloodline. So, thinking about that, he opened his eye again. I've made my decision. Shall we disclosure?
I'm so inclined to say that as he opens his eyes, he can see Will and Lottie both falling asleep because he takes like forever.
Screw you guys! I have scientific nature. Screw you guys!
Lottie will look at Raphael, just simply waiting for him to continue.
Oh, yes. And he goes, sorry, I forgot that the dice were already cast for you two.
I might change my mind. I might vote for you.
Ooh. Then I would have to kick your ass.
Well, you're the only my only pack mate that hasn't today, so.
My vote, after putting a lot of thoughts into it, goes to you, as he looks at Telate.
Let me roll rage. No, I'm kidding. She does look surprised, though. I see. God damn it, Robbie. And she takes again a sip of her tea as she tries to maintain, like,
Mm-hmm.
and tries to overthink how to react to this. But finally, she'll nod again. If that is the wish of the pack, then I will do my best and lead this pack as well as I can.
I think that with William as your beta and me as being the nagging voice of just the voice of nagging, we may be able to go further. And if things needs to be reworked, we can sit again and have a conversation. Or, have some good sparring. Both of them works.
Will nods, stands up. All right, guys. I think there needs to be a group hug. And opens his arms.
And and Raphael just goes, yeah, now I know. I know definitely. I think no. as he just go, I know why I didn't vote for you now. as he just like looks at this big fucking guy who probably just stalks them into a corner to force them into a hug.
I mean, Clotilde is sitting on the chair. She holds her tea. It's almost gone, by the way, the tea by now.
I mean, I don't
She
think
is just looking at William like, no.
And Raphael just go, nah, you know what? Fuck it. I can't say no to those puppy eyes. As he as he looks at William.
Will, goes over to Talati, who's sitting down, and is basically going to grab her into the hug as well.
Ah, Jesus fuck. Um, is she gonna hmm.
You want to make
She
your roll
does.
grapple? I'll do it.
Okay, now I was gonna say she doesn't have really the energy to really start to resist heavily, but if you're gonna make me, if you're gonna roll for it, sure, I will roll
No,
to
no.
dodge.
If you're not resisting, then it's fine.
No, I will roll to dodge now. Fuck you.
Raphael just
I mean,
sends
that
with
still
a pack
means that you're
link.
gonna grab me.
I have 2 successes. Gulp.
With a pack link. Just smile and nod. Smile and nod.
I got 3.
Talate dives under the table.
I mean, she doesn't dive under the table, but she kind of lets herself fall out of the chair backwards
She's a weasel.
and will stand up.
Don't reject us, Alpha.
If you seriously want me to be alpha, I will now ban group hugs from this venue.
Wow. You're already power hungry. You want to ban from the whole venue.
Yes.
What a tyrant! You made a terrible mistake, Raphael.
No, I think the choice is perfect.
God damn it. But she'll at that point as she's standing, she will sigh. She says, "Is it really necessary?"
Think of it as Chiminage to Unicorn.
I've not made a deal with Unicorn.
Chiminage to Will, then.
Hmm. She'll step forward and let him basically embrace her.
Will doesn't have motions for Raphael to come and join in.
No. Yeah. He would arrive and she's like, this is awkward. As he,
Yep.
as he, as he hugs. And somehow I feel that for both of them, it's like mechanical pat on the back of William.
I mean, Platine is not like wrapping her arms around anyone. She's just standing there, kind of staring at their belly buttons or that height.
Will has a big smile on his face, and he's actually gonna like grab them both and like squeeze them. Does one bashing each.
I'll send you my medical bill.
And yeah, I think that's a good place to end the scene.
I
Right?
think so too. Yes, let's
Yeah,
end the scene.
as the scene ends, Raphael is like, "Are we gonna stay like this all night?"
Shh.
There is some grumbling coming from Platine as her face is kind of pressed into Will's side or something. I don't know. And with the very, very awkward and uncomfortable group hug of the children of the Spirit Wilds, we will now end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we will see you again in another episode of Living World of Darkness Race Across New York.